Dexter Morgan, a highly skilled forensic blood spatter analyst and secret vigilante serial killer, found himself in a foreign land, Japan. He had heard whispers of a brilliant, charismatic young man named Light Yagami, who had risen to infamy as Kira, a vigilante who believed he was a god of justice, using a supernatural notebook called the Death Note to kill criminals. Dexter was intrigued by the concept of Kira, someone who shared his passion for justice but used a different method. He decided to investigate further, unaware that he was about to enter a deadly game of cat and mouse. As Dexter delved deeper into the world of Kira, he discovered Light's incredible intellect and ability to outmaneuver the authorities. Dexter realized he had met his match. He knew he had to be cautious, as Kira had already proven himself capable of eliminating anyone who posed a threat to his grand vision of justice. Dexter began his hunt for Light, studying his patterns and meticulously analyzing the crime scenes left in Kira's wake. He soon discovered a pattern of heart attacks among criminals, all occurring shortly after their names were written in the Death Note. Dexter admired Light's cunning and skill but was resolute in his belief that taking the law into one's own hands was not the right path. Intrigued by Dexter's relentless pursuit, Light decided to investigate the mysterious newcomer. He used his intelligence and connections to gather information on Dexter's past and discovered his dark secret: Dexter was a serial killer. Light saw this as an opportunity to eliminate a potential threat while also fulfilling his mission to cleanse the world of evil. He knew that by framing Dexter as a dangerous murderer, he could manipulate the authorities into taking him down. The battle of wits between Dexter and Light escalated. Each step Dexter took to expose Kira's identity was met with countermeasures from Light, who used his access to the Death Note to eliminate anyone who got too close. Dexter, however, was not one to be easily outsmarted. He carefully covered his tracks, leaving no evidence behind, and used his knowledge of forensic analysis to stay one step ahead of Light. As the tension mounted, Dexter realized he needed to confront Light directly. He arranged a meeting, posing as a potential ally. Light, always confident in his ability to manipulate others, agreed to the meeting, believing he could use Dexter to further his own plans. The two men met in a secluded location, surrounded by an air of unease. Dexter, having studied Light's methods extensively, knew that the young genius was prone to arrogance. He used this to his advantage, subtly planting doubts in Light's mind about his own godlike status. Dexter questioned Light's motives, challenging him to consider the consequences of his actions and the innocent lives lost in the pursuit of justice. Caught off guard by Dexter's psychological tactics, Light's demeanor began to crack. Doubt crept into his mind, and for the first time, he questioned the righteousness of his cause. Dexter saw an opening and pounced, revealing his knowledge of Light's true identity as Kira. The revelation sent shockwaves through Light's core. He realized that the hunter had become the hunted. Fear and panic consumed him as he contemplated the possibility of being brought to justice for his crimes. Light attempted to regain control, but Dexter had him cornered. In a final act of desperation, Light reached for the Death Note, intending to with a mixture of relief and triumph. Dexter looked down at Light, his eyes filled with a cold determination. He knew what he had to do. Dexter had spent his life eliminating murderers who had slipped through the cracks of the justice system, and now, he faced the very embodiment of that darkness. "You may have believed you were a god, Light, but in the end, justice always prevails," Dexter declared, his voice laced with a somber resolve. Light's face contorted with anger and disbelief. He struggled against Dexter's grip, but it was futile. He was trapped, defeated. Dexter reached into his pocket and pulled out a syringe filled with a lethal dose of tranquilizer. With a swift motion, he injected it into Light's arm, watching as the young man's body went limp. "You will face the justice you so arrogantly tried to dispense," Dexter whispered, his voice tinged with a mix of sorrow and satisfaction. Light Yagami, the infamous Kira, was captured. His reign of vigilante justice had come to an end at the hands of Dexter Morgan, the dark avenger who sought to balance the scales in his own way. Dexter turned Light over to the authorities, providing them with the evidence needed to convict him of numerous murders. The world watched as Kira's identity was revealed, and the truth behind the mysterious deaths was unveiled. In the aftermath of their battle, Dexter resumed his life as a forensic analyst, using his skills to aid in the pursuit of justice within the confines of the law. The memory of his encounter with Light Yagami lingered, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the fine line between justice and vengeance. Light Yagami, once hailed as a god by some and feared by others, was now just another criminal facing the consequences of his actions. His legacy served as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of hubris and the consequences of playing God. In this battle of wits, Dexter emerged as the clear victor, his code of ethics prevailing over Light's twisted sense of justice. The cat had caught the mouse, and justice had prevailed. But in the end, both men were left with scars, reminders of the darkness that resided within them. If you enjoyed this audio short story, hit that like button and subscribe to the Platinum Wave for more awesome content.